Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me on Periscope. Let me see, can I get this down a little bit? Hi PJ Tech, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Kayl May. I am the customer service and leadership coach. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a mentor, I'm an author, and I'm also a radio talk show host. Today we're going to talk about what is going on with Success Radio. Hello, how you doing? What is going on with Success Radio? I did a Facebook Live yesterday talking about this, and I wanted to come on Periscope today since my iPad is in the shop, and I couldn't do both broadcasts at the same time. Thank you so much for those hearts. I really appreciate it. And I couldn't do both broadcasts at the same time, do a broadcast like I would normally do, so I'm coming on today, and I'm going to talk about it. So Success Radio is one of the shows that I have that I'm a co-host on with 3 other lovely ladies. And we use our platforms to talk about things that are positive and ways to impact and help our world and our communities. Hi, Ham6. Thank you so much for joining me, 128. So that's what we do on Success Radio. So I wanted to talk about something we started last month. We talked about stopping the violence, and we talked about on the show that we was using it as a catalyst in order to, that was just something to get it started. We weren't going to let it stop there. So we're also going to have a live forum that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. But first, I want to go through some of the topics that we're going to be talking about on our radio show. So our radio show is called Success Radio. You can look at it, and you can actually download an app for it on instinctradio.net. You can download an app and you can actually see it live the day of the show. So you can also hear us, but we're also visual as well, which is one thing that I really, really love about that show. So in September the 11th, we're going to be talking about vote. Let your voice be heard. Because a lot of people hadn't signed up to vote, and they're saying they're not going to vote and all of that. So we want to talk about why it's important for everyone to vote. It's not telling you who to vote for. That is your own personal choice. But we're telling you, you need to go out and make your voice heard. It doesn't matter who you're voting for. You need to go out and make sure that your voice is heard. That is your given right to do, and we need to make sure that people are getting up and they're doing that. And not only are they doing it, because when I look around, when I go to vote, I see it, or when I talk to people about why they didn't go and vote, a lot of people said they didn't have a way to go and vote, especially our elderly, our people who can't get out, and may not drive or may not be able to walk to the bus stop. Ask someone to go with you. Take someone with you to go and vote. So we're going to be talking about all of those things, and we always have guests on the show. We normally have 3 to 4 live guests, and we also have call-in guests. So we'll be doing that on September the 11th. In October, we're going to be talking about human sex trafficking. What happens after they're rescued? I live in Atlanta, Georgia now, and that is a really big hot topic here. A lot of it is going on here. And you have to think about, we know that there are different organizations out there, and we're going to have a lot of those organizations on the show. It's a 2-hour show. So we're going to have, organizations on the show. But what I want to know is, yes, you rescued it. We know it's, we know it's out there. We know it's happening. But we want to see what happens to those people once they get rescued. What actually happens? What do they go through once they've gotten rescued out of that? So we're going to be talking about that on our October show, and our show is always the second Sunday of every month from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So remember that. In November, we're going to be talking about overcoming a traumatic childhood to achieve success. We know, and this is giving someone else encouragement, because we know sometimes the kids go through so much. They go through, being abused in the homes, whether it's physical abuse or mental abuse. They go through having parents that have been on drugs and things. We have children who have been molested, when they were little. So, how do they overcome those things that they have been through in their lives, and now that they are successful? So we want to encourage someone else who may be going through those same things, or their children may be going through some of these things, and seeing how they can help them be productive members of society. Because you know, sometimes those are the kids that end up in the system and end up doing some of the things they should not do. So we want to give them some encouragement of some things they can do to overcome these and achieve success in their lives. And I know a lot of people have gone through things like this in their childhood. So we're inviting them to come on the show and talk about it. In December, of course, it's holiday time. So we're going to be talking about it's better to give than to receive, help the less fortunate. We're going to have organizations come on, and talking about that. And hopefully we have some donations that we can give away at that time. That's our goal to have that. Hey, Alicia, thank you so much for joining. That's our goal, to do that in December. So just to recap what Success Radio is doing. Again, Success Radio is our radio show. It's 4 co-hosts on there. And we come on every second Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can go to, you can actually download an app for Instinct Radio. Go to your app store or your store, whatever you call it, whatever Android or iOS that you have, and you can download the app for it. But if you don't do that, you can always go online to instinctradio.net, and you can actually see us live doing the broadcast. So that's going to be real exciting. So in September, remember, we're going to be talking about voting, let your voice be heard. In October, we're going to be talking about human sex trafficking, what happens after they've been rescued. In November, we're going to be talking about overcoming a traumatic childhood to achieve success. And in December, we're going to be talking about it's better to give than to receive, help those that are less fortunate than you. So please join us on all of these shows that we have every second Sunday. But not only that, if you know anyone who is involved in any of these topics that I talked about, please have them to send me an email, or they can go to my website at bottomlinesecret@yahoo.com. My website is Kayl May, thecustomerservicecoach.info. And see, can we, have them on the show either as a call-in guest, or if they're here in the Atlanta, Georgia area or the surrounding areas, we can have them live in the show as well. So if you know anyone who has gone through any of this, who are working with any organizations, hey, Next Level Lou, thank you so much for joining. If you know anyone who is going through any of these things, please have them to send me the email, bottomlinesecret@yahoo.com, or they can visit my website and see this information as well. But I want to make sure that we, really talk about these topics and really dig deep inside, because I think, using your platform for something positive, it really does help. You can help someone else. So that's why we selected these topics, in order to use them, so that hopefully we can help at least one person. If you can help one person a day, one person a show, that's enough for me. I'm really excited about that. So make sure you're doing that. As I said at the beginning, last month we talked about Stop the Violence. Can we all just get along with all the differences that we had? And we said we wanted to use that show as a catalyst for our to do something more. Don't let it just stop there, just having one radio show about it. So what we decided to do is, two of our two of our guests who were call-in guests from out of town, they actually did an internet forum. And we talked about, it was a real private place where you can really talk and be heard about what do you feel like about Stop the Violence, and ask some questions. There were some cops on there and all this stuff. And, it was really good. So what we decided to do is, we're going to have a live forum. It's going to be for Success Radio, the movement forward. And it's going to be where we're going to have a panel of 6 guests on there. We're going to invite audience to come in, sit down, and be able to feel free and comfortable to ask their questions in a respectful manner, and to know that they are going to be respected with the answers that are given. But if you're someone who has already made up their mind there's nothing that can be done, and you're very negative about it, you're not the person that we want to come to this live forum, because this is something that we want to do to put positivity out in the community. What can we do? And walk away with an action plan. What can we do as individuals? What can we do as organizations to help our communities stop the violence, to help whatever is going on in our communities? How can we do that? How can we help do that? Because a lot of people feel like because they're individuals, they can't help it. I can't do anything. I'm just one person. And I used the analogy yesterday, you know, a lot of people don't like to keep change in their pockets and they just throw it all around. And, you know, when you pick that change up, you pick a penny up and then you pick a nickel up. Now you have 6 cents. Then you pick a dime up. Now you have 16 cents. So if each person adds in and do something about the violence, that's the only way we're going to be able to stop it. We can't depend on the police departments to stop it. We can't depend on the military to stop it. We can't depend on the politicians to stop it. We each individually have to get out there and do something to help stop the violence. So this is our way of doing that, starting this live forum, and hopefully that's something we're going to do. If we can't do it monthly, maybe we can do it quarterly, but to get a forum together and have different guests coming in where they can feel comfortable, our audience can feel comfortable asking these questions, because sometimes, you know, it's hard to really say what's going on in the community and say what really needs to be done, because you're so afraid of retaliation or so afraid of what someone else is going to say. So in this forum, we're going to make sure that you are respected. Each question is respected. You know, I'm a firm believer of there's no stupid question. The only stupid question is the question that you have not asked, but you still don't know the answer to. So we are going to respectfully and positively ask these questions and walk away with the action plan, what we can do as individuals, as organizations, to help stop the violence in our communities. Now, even if you're not going to be here, and that's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia, but if you're not in Atlanta, Georgia, we're going to do Periscope and we're going to do Facebook Live and all of that. So we want to invite you to join that day, and that's on September the 25th from 4 to 6 Eastern Standard Time. We're super, super excited about that. I mean, we just, you know, I love being a radio talk show host, but I love doing something that's going to benefit our community, something that's really going to, you know, use your forum for something that's good, use your platform for something that's good, that's going to help someone else. That's what I love about it. And later on, I'm going to announce something else that we're going to have coming up for Messages of Love. But I can't announce that right now because it hadn't been sealed yet, but it'll be sealed by the 1st of next month. I'll be introducing that as well. And that's going to be another way that we're going to be able to help. So remember, if you know anyone who has gone through the human sex trafficking, overcoming a traumatic childhood to achieve success, or any organization who are, you know, doing the donations like the Angel Trees and the different Salvation Armies and different things like that. If you know those people and you know someone in that organization, tell them what we're trying to do, that we need guests to come on the show, and send me an email at bottomlinesecret@yahoo.com, or you can go on my website, Kayl May, thecustomerservicecoach.info, because we want to talk to those people, because if, you know, it doesn't matter where you're located, because if you can't come in live, we can have you as a call-in guest, and you can also text in. So that's why it's good for you to be on the to have the app, or either to watch us online, because you can actually text in. If you can't get in, you can text in and we'll read your question or your comment out on air as well. So that's super important. A lot of other radio shows don't have that, so that's another way to keep you involved with what's going on. So again, my name is Kayl May. I am the customer service and leadership coach. I am a motivational speaker. I am a mentor, an author, and also a radio talk show host. So thank you so much for joining me. Again, this is about Success Radio. I just wanted to let you know what we had going on, the end of the year strong, and make sure that you are aware of it. And so if you want to be involved, if you want to listen, we want to make sure we have that information out to you. And I'll come on again probably the day of the show, each show, just so I'll let you know that we're getting ready to come on air, and as a reminder. Again, thank you so much. I never take it lightly that you take time out of your day to watch me live or either watch my replay. Again, my name is Kayl May, bottomlinesecret@yahoo.com. You can always send me an email, any questions that you may have, or any comments that you may have. Again, I thank you so much for joining me. Everyone have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.